Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another section of Beautifully Bold. Of course, I am Honorable Mills. Happy New Year. We're still in this new year, you guys, but of course, happy new month. It's my month, February, and I hope it's filled with lots of love for you guys. Today, we have the one and only Donovan Mack. He is the creative strategic CEO of the Public Relations Factory, the host of the Access to My Energy podcast. Donovan found love for communications when watching the Oprah Winfrey Show at a young age, and he has always maintained a positive vibe. Ladies and gentlemen, Donovan Mack.
Thank you so much.
I'm so
The intro was amazing.
Donovan, how have you been?
I've been good. Listen, it's been a lot. I've been working this new year. January felt like its own year, right? I think somewhere out the country they were celebrating January's over, right?
Yes.
It's just so much happened.
So long.
Yes,
January
so
was
much
long.
happened in this 1 month that so I've been good though.
Wow.
I've been good.
So tell me, you went to Salisbury University.
Yes, SU, you know.
SU, we both went to Salisbury
we
University.
did. My HBCU. Sorry.
Yes, that's all right. Don't come for us.
Right, don't come for us.
Don't. But how was your transition from Salisbury University into the real world right now? You graduating, the experiences that you had at Salisbury University.
Yes.
What did you like or dislike about Salisbury University?
Let me tell you something. First of all, my transition out, I'll start there. To meet the eye seemed amazing, right? Okay. I got a job January 2nd. I started, graduated December 23rd or something.
Right.
So it was on and popping, right? Literally had Christmas, New Year's. Next thing you know, I was working at a big PR firm in DC, right? And going from there, the mental health aspect really kicked in because the check wasn't that big.
Okay.
But however, getting transitioned back in home, back in the house with your parents, it was like I was in high school again.
Yeah.
So it was really weird. So what I really liked about Salisbury was the freedom, number one. I was able to stand kind of on my own stool, so to speak, and really just have a voice. Okay. But then back at home, I was like, okay, now I'm the intern. I gotta go back into really hustle mode. Yes. I felt like a new freshman, to be honest with you.
I was feeling the same way.
Yeah, and the workplace, child, let me tell you something. The workplace, under entry level, I was in a junior intern position, still full time, of course. That's what they do to us. They still have us work full time, which is good. I appreciated it. I would not want to work 10 hours or something like that. Yeah. So I appreciated the full time aspect and the money and the opportunity. Right. But I just felt like a new freshman over again. So.
Don't we all feel like that after we graduate?
In the school of life, right?
Hello. You guys don't even know what goes on after graduation. It looks so exciting and everything, glimpse and everything. Yeah. It's not all that. But tell me why you majored in communications in Salisbury.
Oh gosh.
What made you?
Funny story. I have a younger brother, and my mom loved the Oprah Winfrey Show. Like I said in the intro, you said, thank you so much for the intro. It was amazing. Literally, it was on all the time. And in watching how she did stuff, I never knew that was the love. That it was God was showing purpose. You know what I mean? Through that, this is going to be you in some place, you know? Some shape or form. So really, Oprah has been a really big integral part. Okay. I grew up every single day running in from track practice, watching 106 in Park. I love that. I used to do a countdown by myself. Wow. I was like, up next is Sierra's video, #1 on the charts. Doing the interviews and
stuff. But who
stuff.
knows about 106 in Park? I don't know about 106 in
Park. I know. Back in the day, right? I still love me a good daytime talk show or evening talk show, whatever works. But I really just started watching it on TV. TV's one of my best friends. Okay. And just going through there, I was like, listen, this is going to be the career, you know? Okay. So, yeah.
Wow. Oprah Winfrey. Donovan, one day you're going to be sitting right next to her.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
You're going to be sitting right next to her.
Yes.
But I have so many questions for you. You guys, even behind scenes, before all this even started, I was just pouring. But you did this amazing thing for Salisbury University student body.
Yes.
I was always wondering, our graduation cap, you allowed us to have the advantage of designing our graduation cap. Absolutely. How did that come along? Because I know before, Salisbury University did not have that. So what was the process that you went through to make that happen?
Oh my goodness, it was an all-year thing because I had worked on it since September, and December graduation comes up, so they're in the wait, and I was like, y'all, I'm so sorry. Yeah. The process is moving just a little bit slow, but it meant a little bit more to me to have your cap decorated than just saying I'm gonna paint it. You know what I mean? It was kind of more of a symbolic thing that if you didn't have all the cords, if you didn't have all the stoles, that you were able to decorate your cap however you wanted. So in going through that process, let me tell you something. It was very slow, and higher education moves slow, so it was very slow. slow in working on it. Every time there was an edit, I had to make it and then kind of represent it to someone, right? Which was fine. I appreciate it, what I had to go through then, because now I know now. Like, okay, let's re-pivot, let's re-strategize, and go through there. But let me tell you something, okay? It was like very meticulous, very the experience wasn't the best, I'll say. And going through that, that's how change is. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And moving in those situations, I was like, look, there's a goal to be met. However I need to get there, I do. So I would say maybe February, March, we were really like kind of pushing for May to be decorated. And then I think around early April, it was approved. And then like as in people's packages that they got for graduation, it was like, here are the rules. I wrote them.
Wow, I know that's right. Because I actually kept reading. I was like, is this really happening? Like,
each word was mine. Each word was mine. Of course, with some edits from administration and stuff like that. But yeah, I typed those up. I was like, this is how it's going to look in the package. They're going to get it and have the opportunity, And I was like, I didn't make sure my name was on the package. You know what I mean? But like, that was something big for me that like, if other schools are going to have it, we need to have it too. And kind of step more into the 21st century.
Correct. So, I love the part that you just said that we need to step and move ahead. This is the 21st century. There's so many schools and universities out there that get the chance to decorate the caps. And I believe that you being able to decorate your own cap talks to you personally. It speaks about your personality. And I feel like you're really that type of person that has that face. Like, I want to show my personality because we can all graduate with the same degree.
Come on now.
In the same courses, but there has to be something that, distinguish you from others. And I feel like you did that so well.
Oh, thank you.
I want to know, like, with all this process and everything, do you believe that Salisbury did not credit you enough in a lot of the things that you've done for the student body? Because you've done so much, Donovan. SGA.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a lot. I wouldn't say it was the university's responsibility as a whole to represent me as someone that was kind of pushing for change. It was some of the stuff where, if this were to open up or if this were to be created and that, the press was invited, but I wasn't, given a certain portion in the article, or if there was, something being created where it was like, we're doing this initiative now and things like that. And, Salisbury had some other issues go on in the past, like to see that I've also worked on that before too. That was kind of my idea already. Of course, with the help of other people, like there have been Dom, Sierra, there have been a couple other people that y'all can follow on Instagram.
Shout out.
Yeah. But I was like behind the scenes, like there was a lot of things that I was like, man, it wasn't really university giving me credit. It was just the people there, like, who worked on it. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be night to include all their names. They deserve to be heard.
Yeah, everybody needs to be credited. But if you were to start your whole university career all over again, would you choose Salisbury University or would you choose any other university to attend?
Well, funny you said that because, and I'll share this, I actually didn't get into Salisbury coming out of high school. So, yeah, that was very interesting.
Wow.
And then I think the SAT just wasn't there.
It wasn't for me either.
The grades were there, though. The grades were there, though.
But the SAT...
So I think in freshman year at my other school in Pennsylvania, once I proved that my grades are even better than high school, he can do this, let's accept him, So that's the only thing I wish I could have changed because I was like, if I would start to freshman year, imagine how much more I could have done, right? So no, that's the only thing that I would change. I'm thinking, no, I wouldn't really change anything about it. All the decisions I made have now in the future either shown some purpose, shown some passion, or shown what I don't want to do anymore.
I definitely understand.
Yes.
Speaking of passion and purpose, what is the public relations factory?
Yeah, so this is not something, this is low-key a little exclusive, okay? This is not something that I walk around saying, it is in my Instagram bio if you're nosy. But it's basically, I found that I was obsessed with the build. How can we build basically other public images of others and kind of their personal brand, but how can we showcase that light, that purpose within somebody? So with that, I was like, what's perfect is the public relations factory, because kind of the PR side, the strategy, the creativeness and things like that, mixed with, we want to physically build an infrastructure so that you can either connect with your audience or you can kind of have a platform or you can either work towards something greater that can be for bigger exposure, like Beautifully Bold and something like that. I really wanted to make sure that that was rooted in what I was doing, but then also where I wanted to work, branding, marketing, public relations. Like I love doing that stuff and kind of just changing up the voice, showcasing new voices, and bringing exposure to those that are already there that need to hear them.
Wow.
So yeah,
this is powerful.
Yeah. Okay,
this is powerful. The Public Relations Factory, you guys.
Yes.
You guys have to check him out on Instagram.
Yes. And there's a website. There is a website. www.thepublicrelationsfactory.com.
Hello.
Send us an inquiry. We'll be happy to hear from you. Okay.
I hope you wrote that down because you're gonna need it.
Come on now.
Still talking on branding with the Public Relations Factory. What are some of the brands that the PR Factory has helped build?
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well,
I dig deep.
You did dig deep because listen, we talked about, the credit and things like that. As a public relations professional, it's my job to make sure my clients get the credit, right? So it's so funny how you mentioned, like, who have you worked with?
Yes.
And we're in the building stages of the agency, of course, but we work with major celebrities from behind the scenes, a lot of TV stations locally. We've gotten our clients on there and things like that. And then really just a lot of events and something coming very soon in March. We're having our first event. We'll definitely have invitations sent to Beautifully Bold to be there. Yes, of course, we're having our first event in honor of Women's History Month. So it's going to be big. There's a lot of big things in store, guys. I'm telling you. So
looking forward
still in those building stages to like put some, logos on our website that who we really work with. But yeah, we definitely are in that build stage. And still with the factory, like we got to build the factory too. The factory's got to be built.
It can't be
then we can build other products, right?
But who are you looking towards to work with the public relations?
Oh my goodness. So really digital content creators like yourself, influencers, lifestyle brands, and really just giving them more of an infrastructure to connect with their audience, right? This may be a business meeting in a minute, okay? But really just making sure that their brand is presented in the proper light, but also that they have their niche audience, they're connecting with them, they're building with them, kind of building that tribe, that beehive, so to speak, and really just making sure they're upping exposure, which then brings about more opportunity, right?
Right.
So yeah.
I love this. Y'all don't even know what's coming up, March. Y'all gotta write it down.
March, yes. Stay tuned for March.
Write it down. Speaking of energy.
Come on now.
Energy. What does positive energy means to you?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's something that's consistent with me that I've noticed, and not to sound narcissistic at all, but it's been mentioned to me a few times that my energy has been like consistently positive. Even when I'm going through the most, like, and it's not even a fake thing. It's just that's where I am. You know, I'm just that's the way that's my personality. That's how I grew up. That's just I've always been a happy kid.
Nobody can change that.
Nobody
who you
can
are
change
is
that.
who you are.
Right, exactly. So
haters will say it's fake,
but yeah, I mean,
it's
hey,
real.
Right?
It's real.
But I mean, really, it's just being a light, being your own self, standing in your own truth, and really just showcasing that to others is what positive energy looks like. And if that's in a like sunken place, so to speak, and not to say get out, like that's sunken place, but if that's in a darker place, maybe just finding the cracks that bring out the light, really just personally to you, showing your light through, your personality, your actions, your intentions, yourself, like that's what it looks like to me.
Right. So talking about darkness, being, do you ever, because I know people always like, Donovan is always happy and this and that. Do you ever get drained? Like, oh my God, like I'm tired. Are we really doing this? Do you ever get drained? Because I'm a very, very, very bubbly, happy person. But I do have my moments, you guys. We're all humans. But I want to know, do you ever have that time, that place where you're always like down, or you feel like you're alone, or you just can't get through something, you're just tired?
Yeah, listen, I felt that loneliness a lot. That comes with entrepreneurship too, as you know.
Yes.
And just being like kind of in your own island, so to speak. Yeah. So I've definitely felt that loneliness, so to speak. I wouldn't say like I try not to project it on others, if that makes sense. So again, it's not a fake thing. It's just that maybe I don't want to put my problems on you right now. Put that out in the atmosphere, because who knows what you're going through, right? But really, there have been some moments where I've been like, listen, not today. Yeah. I'll keep the same energy, which is, of course, trending now. When I started it, I didn't start that. But like, I was an embodiment of it, you know what I mean? Of keeping the same energy consistently, even when those doubts, because, people have hurt them in the past. So that wasn't me, though.
Right.
But yeah, so it was, I have had those moments, and I'll either seclude myself so that I don't project that on others.
And that's very good.
It is, right?
Because you have to find that boundary, because sometimes I'm like, stop, like,
boundaries. We're working on those too.
Yes, me too.
Okay, because let me tell you, those boundaries, it's nothing you deal with in college, right?
Yeah.
So those boundaries, like, okay, listen, this is kind of how we block it off so that we don't get back to that place we were before, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I have found myself there, but really setting boundaries. This is like a lifelong thing to be working on.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So
speaking of
like
positive energy. positive energy, Donovan. It's like it's always written all over you. Tell me about access to my energy.
For sure.
Please.
So I actually attended this workshop maybe 2 weeks ago, and we were telling our stories in like 3 minutes or less. And I noticed, I was like, you know what? Before it was trendy, before it was this big thing, before it was keep the same energy, access to my energy, it was like, I have this energetic self, this personality. So, but should everyone have access to it? Right. And by that, I mean, I don't close it off or stop it for anybody, but how deep do we go, right? So in giving you this, right, I'm giving you access into, kind of how I built myself up to be this positive person, but maybe everyone doesn't deserve that, or they might be in a journey in themselves where it's like, they got to find that within, because they'll ask questions like, how do I get there? And it's like, it's not how you get there where I am, it's how you get there for where you are. So really accessing my energy, I started to brand it. I was like, how can I really,
bring this out there.
Bring this, and it's not bringing any money in now, which was not really the goal. The goal wasn't not to be, I need another source of income. Let's start a podcast. Right. But really access to my energy really just gave, people ask me stuff all the time. But then not even that, people ask me, can I get in all the time? And I'd be like, girl, just buy a ticket. Buy a ticket. It'd be $15. Buy a ticket. So people really asking for that access, but then also they wanted more. They wanted like, I want to work with you. I want to do this with you. I want to learn from you. I want to do. Listen, I had somebody tell me, ask me the other day. It was maybe a year ago. Everything that you learn, I want to learn too. And I was like, that's on your own journey.
Thank you.
I was like, he was like, all my expertise. I was like, I don't even know all my expertise.
We all want to get to that, that goal, that success story. But everybody has their own pathway to get there. It's the same way as like, yes, you go to school, you go to a university, and they tell you need to graduate. Like, everybody's graduating at this time.
Exactly.
You're not going to graduate at the same time as everybody. Everybody has their own journey.
And it's something really big with me, because I used to run track and field, and I coach track and field now.
Okay.
So lanes are important. Wow. Physical and spiritual.
Wow. I like this. Lanes are important.
They are. And it's not even about staying in your lane, because each race you're put in a different lane, right?
Wow.
It's just like maintaining that lane that you're in and then pushing through there,
Donovan, you just gave me chills.
Come on
Lanes
now.
are important.
Come on now.
Yo, this is the best quote I've ever
because
heard.
I'm telling you, listen, for me, track and field gave a lot of my foundation too. But like, in staying in your lane, like knowing your place, but know that every single race, it's a different lane. So one day you'll be in 8, one day you'll be in 1, one day you'll be in 4. But you gotta work whatever lane you're in. So yeah.
I just
got
stay in your own lane, guys. Lanes are important.
Yes.
But what are your long-term and short-term goals for Access to My Energy podcast?
For sure. So long term, I would say just have it be a platform for energy. Okay. People ask me all the time, oh my gosh, who is this serving? And I'm like, I'm still doing some audience development, but really just to be that energy, that podcast that focuses on energy, and continuing to just keep the positivity going, January was a lot. We talked about this. January was so long. Thank God for February 1st and Black History Month, right?
But it was so long.
Listen. So yeah, really just, when it's the podcast, it's the place where you need to hear something positive, you go there. We don't talk about everything positive though. We talk about how we got out of the negative to the positive. The journey, the lane, the race that we ran to get there, kind of so you can apply it to yourself and really just, take what you need from it and then be on your way, kind of sort of. So really number one, outsource. And then the short term, really just to keep consistency.
Consistency is so important. Yes.
Keep giving those episodes. Listen, keep rolling out that content. Yeah, the short term is like to keep the business of it, and it's not a business, you know what I mean? Like, it's taking in money if you're offering, but it's like to keep the consistency of people need to hear this, and that, just because you only have 100 followers on Instagram doesn't mean you need to not be consistent. Yeah. So, yeah.
Consistency, that is always key. I've always learned that. That's always key.
Yes.
But talking about Access to My Energy podcast, what are some of the challenges as an entrepreneur? It doesn't have to be with Access to My Energy podcast, but what are some of the things, challenges that you face throughout? Speak it.
I'm talking about these episodes. These episodes recording at 3 a.m, girl. That's sometimes when I'm most creative. Yes. That's sometimes when I'm most creative.
Hold on, pause. Y'all hear that?
3
in the morning.
3 a.m.
That's when I'm writing letterheads and invites out.
It's okay, but your voice got to be clear too. So your voice got to be clear for emails. My voice got to be clear for
You're so annoying.
But after the 9 to 5, which I used to call the 8 to 6, because that's just what it is, right? After the 9 to 5, after the agency work, after the meetings, because like you can take in running an agency, but the meetings be a whole hour and a half, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But like that just prolongs more what you have to do, right? Yeah. But those meetings are necessary to an extent. Some of them be like, girl,
so long.
Could have been email.
Hello.
Could have been an email.
I love you, Donovan.
And then one of my really good friends also said, if it's a meeting without food, it needs to be an email.
On.
And I'm like, see.
I agree. That's like when you go sit in class and it's like you have nothing to do. That professor did not even do nothing.
You ain't have to do class today.
Hello. That 8 a.m., I was not feeling it.
But then you have some that will slack off to make class happen. I'd be like, y'all, just do the work.
My God. Wow. Access to my energy, you guys. Donovan, is there anything that you want to share out to your fans, people that are watching? I
have fans? No.
You don't know you got fans? Get out of here.
Oh my goodness. I would just leave your audience with this. Like, of course, stay in your own lane, we talk about that kind of stuff. But just really look for the happiness. I'm telling you, what serves that happiness? Because I realize even in doing the work and building, like, it's not always happy, but like that journey to the happiness is super important, right? And then for me, I always leave off with this. Broken crayons still color, right? So when you feel broken, when you feel like, girl, I can't do this no more, Crayola still color.
Hello, you better sharpen it.
Yeah,
sharpen the bottom.
Yeah, you can sharpen either side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, it's still going. If it's periwinkle, it's still gonna be periwinkle. You know what I mean? So if you feel broken, you still got it. You are built for this. You are built for this. That was like 5 things. Wow. But it's okay. You are built for this, and you're more than enough. Okay.
I'm just getting chills out here. Like, Donovan, can you please share with them your social media handles so they can be able to follow you, especially access to My Energy podcast, you guys. He has amazing things coming out. Please give it to them.
Listen, y'all want to really watch, okay? I'm telling you, Beautifully Bold is really like popping as well, okay? I'm telling you. But follow me on all social media at I am the Don Mack, M-A-C-K. Those also have the other links to the website, the Acts of Energy podcast, Instagram. So that's like a hub for everything. And then listen, I'm in communications. You're in the communication industry, you know. I do answer DMs. You know what I'm saying? So listen, you have a question, you need to ask me something, I will answer it. You know what I mean? So it's not an opportunity to slide in them.
He don't take long.
I don't. Yeah. But don't slide in them though.
No.
But you can hit me up with a question.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Beautifully Bold, Donovan. It was a pleasure having you on this platform.
Thank you for having me. Shout out to her, y'all. She's doing big things. Okay.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Beautifully Bold. Again, Beautifully Bold is brought to you by 3D Make Blink by Bold Lashes and of course King Production. You guys, Beautifully Bold is once again hosted by Honorable Mills. Here we are embracing her beauty, captivating her gifts, and of course acknowledging her strength. See you later.